Today's reading is from the Holy Gospel according to Luke, chapter 12, verses 8 to 12. Jesus said to his disciples, "I tell you, if anyone openly declares himself for me in the presence of men, the Son of Man will declare himself for him in the presence of God's angels. But the man who disowns me in the presence of men will be disowned in the presence of God's angels. Everyone who says a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven, but he who blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven. When they take you before synagogues and magistrates and authorities, do not worry about how to defend yourselves or what to say, because when the time comes, the Holy Spirit will teach you what you must say." The Gospel of the Lord. The Gospel starts with Jesus saying that if you disown me in the presence of men, I, Jesus, will disown you in the presence of my enemies. But if you speak up for me in the presence of men, I will speak up for you in the presence of your enemies. The inability to speak the truth, but rather pander to the popularist opinions, is a problem, is a thing that politicians are famous for. They pander to public opinions and they speak to different crowds with different language. They dare not speak their minds or speak the truth for fear of upsetting the sentiments of the people whom they are speaking to, and thereby not being popular and not being elected into positions again. But that makes them insincere. That gives them incongruency in character, which in the long run might cause them to fall, especially in today's climate, when there are videos all over the place that can record speeches and play back any contradicting statements, which was not so many years ago. So it's ever more important to be congruent in whatever you speak. If we have an obligation to speak with one voice, because although we may be unpopular, but we will be respected for our stance and for our courage in speaking up for what we think is right. Now, when we speak what is right, or when we say what we think is the truth, there is a caveat. That is, although we may be speaking the truth, we cannot blatantly speak the truth and hurt others. For instance, we shouldn't say, "I hate you because you're always getting angry." It doesn't help the person you're speaking to, because you're not exactly saying when he gets angry. For instance, how you could phrase it is like this: I think you're a nice person, but sometimes when you react in certain ways, it creates a climate of fear, and people are afraid to speak up and speak their minds. So you may not get the full thoughts or the full sentiments of the people you're speaking to. So you may not, even though you may be angry, you may want to try and control the temperament of yours so that you can have people be comfortable to say what they have to say without fear of you blowing your top. So that's maybe one way of saying it. So truth, speaking the truth, has to be done responsibly. So although you're called to speak the truth, speak truth in a responsible manner. It's my thought for today. Have a good day.